So it's time to kick off our first bout of the evening. It's in the junior middleweight amateur Thai kickboxing match. First, please welcome to the cage, Marshall McCollum.
Huge reaction for Marshall McCollum, his debut here in Valor Fights. Welcome cage side. I'm Vince Ferrara alongside Casey Oxendine. Another stat card for you here at Valor Fights 34. And we kick things off with an amateur Muay Thai kickboxing bout in the middleweight division. It is at 159 pounds, 3 2-minute rounds, presented by Jason Connor, Liberty Mutual. Marshall McCollum, his debut out of the Sitha Muay Thai camp in Nashville, Tennessee, taking on Jason MOULTON. His debut as well out of Upper Cumberland MMA in right here, Cookeville, Tennessee. So amateur Thai kickboxing, Casey. Start us out, tell us a little bit about Marshall.
First of all, Muay Thai is a huge part of Middle Tennessee and the combat sports as a whole. Of course, mixed martial arts is what we're here for tonight, but the Sitha Law camp is so pedigreed and so good. They are a pure Muay Thai camp, though they do produce MMA fighters. They are very, very known for their acclaimed titles in Muay Thai competition. You're going to see a lot of knees. You're going to see a lot of clinch work, but these guys also have fundamental basics, great punches, great kicks, great setups. Marshall McCollum, I expect for him to go right along into that same flow. And you've got, of course, DJ Miller. You can see him right there. That kid is one of the top prospects in the world right now in Muay Thai. He's got a great look. He's in the corner there of Marshall McCollum. But they're taking on an Upper Cumberland MMA team competitor, Jason MOULTON, who is also, comes from a very pedigreed camp. So I think this is going to be a great matchup to kick things off.
And MOULTON, known for that camp that you mentioned from Upper Cumberland MMA, known for their stand-up wrestlers and standout wrestlers, excuse me. But we'll take a look here in kickboxing, Muay Thai kickboxing, how they can do with the strike game. McCollum is in the cage. We go back to the cage. Here's Jennifer.
And his opponent, please welcome Jason MOULTON.
So here comes Jason MOULTON, as we mentioned, from Upper Cumberland MMA, right here in Cookeville, Tennessee, making his debut. Now, talk about the Muay Thai kickboxing as opposed to straight kickboxing. Is that something that the organization maybe wants to start going towards more so as a better preparation for the transition from kickboxing to MMA?
Well, it's a double-edged sword because Muay Thai-based kickboxing, it involves the clinch work and the knees to the body. Well, as an amateur, it's knees to the body. And of course, professional Muay Thai, you can knee and kick to the head. So it's a different style. I believe that your standard kickboxing style, it helps for you to develop your punching and kicking, almost like a K1 rules, where it helps you to put those combinations together. Whereas in the Muay Thai, you're going to see the guys tied up a lot more, closing the distance.
All right. MOULTON is in the cage. We go back there for official introductions. And Jennifer.
This bout is scheduled for 3 2-minute rounds. First, fighting to my left, out of the Liberty Mutual red corner, he weighed in at 157 pounds. Fights out of Sitha Law Muay Thai MMA in Nashville, Tennessee. And tonight he is making his kickboxing debut. Put your hands together for Marshall McCollum. And his opponent across the cage to my right, fighting out of the OEB blue corner. He weighed in at 157 pounds, represents Upper Cumberland MMA in Cookeville, Tennessee, and tonight he's making his Muay Thai debut. Put your hands together for Jason MOULTON. Your referee when the action begins, Thomas Brooks.
Thomas Brooks, our referee in this first bout here at Valor Fights 34. It's Muay Thai kickboxing. It's Marshall McCollum in the red trunks and Jason MOULTON in the black trunks. 3 2-minute rounds, and we're underway here at Valor Fights 34 in Cookeville.
So you asked earlier, you know, what do I believe is better as far as standard kickboxing and Muay Thai? I think that both are excellent preparation for mixed martial arts competitors. But standard Muay Thai, especially professional, where you can knee to the head, it's just a very tough, brutal sport, considered by many to be even tougher than mixed martial arts because there's nowhere to go. You stand and you bang.
Clinch there. Some knees exchanged by both guys. Thomas Brooks asks for a break. Junior middleweight battle, 159, amateur Thai kickboxing. Do you see more guys sort of trying to get their feel for it in kickboxing more so than in MMA?
I definitely believe that you should get started in kickboxing. I believe that grappling, sport grappling, and then amateur kickboxing is a very strong route if you're going to go to MMA. Some fighters never aspire to be an MMA fighter at all. They love kickboxing over in Europe especially. Muay Thai and K1 rules fighting is so very popular, much more so than mixed martial arts. But around here in the United States, the wrestler is king, and so that is the next component. Mixed martial arts is sort of how the wrestler can go from being an amateur athlete to a professional. And right along with that, look at that. Beautiful shot there by Jason Moulton. And Marshall McCollum fires back here. He's got the clinch work.
Moulton had a sweet spin kick a moment ago, and then he went on the attack afterwards. Moulton in the black, McCollum in the red.
Very well-matched fight here to start things off. Oh, that's a big shot. That's, wow. Beautiful right hand.
McCollum, the crowd loved that.
Yeah,
and that's the end of the
yeah,
round.
But he's still going to take that standing 8 there. That's gonna give us an automatic 10-8.
And Thomas Brooks, the referee, completes.
You know,
count.
It could have been argued that Marshall McCollum might have been slightly down there. It seemed that Jason Moulton was on the prowl, and he might have been slightly ahead. And then out of nowhere, McCollum lands that big right hand, drops Jason Moulton to the mat, and made things a lot more interesting.
And ducked a punch and looked like he was avoiding more damage from against the cage. And then that overhand right, pretty powerful.
And incredible. And again, that's what the fans love to see here.
Take us through this case.
Here it is. Here we go. McCollum slipping that. You see Moulton on the prowl here, and out of nowhere, boom, big right hand. Right on the ear. You don't see a lot of knockdowns in that headgear. You know it had to be crisp.
Absolutely. That was the most powerful and influential strike in that first round. So who would you give that to? Would you give that to McCollum on that?
Undoubtedly. A 10-8 round there for McCollum. Automatic 10-8 with a knockdown.
So work to do here for Jason Moulton. May have been on his way to winning that first round prior to that.
I think so. Oh, beautiful right hand, Marshall McCollum. It seems like he's starting to come on here. Getting a lot more comfortable here inside the cage. And that's something that's different from traditional Muay Thai. You don't see is obviously traditional Muay Thai is contested in a ring. And so, you know, we're inside the cage, so it changes the perspective just slightly.
3 2-minute rounds here for Muay Thai. Kickboxing here at Valor Fights 34.
Oh, nice right hand there by Jason Moulton. He landed 2 of them and follows it up with a knee. I think it landed on the head.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was intentional or not.
I think you're right about that, Casey. And now, Thomas Brooks, accidental knee, so timeout is called.
Now that being said, if it landed there on the headgear, it probably shielded him from any, too much impact. Those knees are so dangerous because they can cut if they land on the sweet spot of the face.
So on an accidental, if that was to impact the fight, what's the procedure after that?
I think that would be just like any other foul. If it's an accidental low blow, if the competitor can continue, I think they will continue. If not, we would have a no contest. I think these guys are tough. They're rugged. They're ready to go. Now, if it gets to a situation where you see it becomes an intentional, then we may look at the disqualification, but I don't think that's the case here.
Just a warning, and we're back at it here in round 2. 3 2-minute rounds. Valor Fights 34 in Cookeville.
Oh, wow, and down goes Marshall McCollum. Was that a slip?
I think so. Yeah, timeout is called by referee Thomas Brooks, and he will go NBA court and wipe it like the kids do at NBA games, and we're back underway. Hadn't really had a flow to this second round yet. And boy, the look on McCollum's face, like, what are you doing? As he took that low blow, and he'll have time to regather. We're here at Tennessee Tech here tonight at Valor Fights 34, back in Cookeville, Tennessee. Excited about it. Vince Farrar alongside Casey Oxendine. And so plenty of time here for McCollum to try to get regathered in the red trunks. And there you take a look at JAYSON MOULTON. So this second round in the balance, you think, still, right?
I think so. And yeah, very close. And both of these guys have been coming on. I thought that Marshall McCollum was on a stride there following that knockdown in the first, and then JAYSON MOULTON has made a play of his own. But that's the thing here. I think that's going to, you know, if it does go the way of JAYSON MOULTON, then it will be a 10-9 round at the very most.
And that's the end of round number 2. And McCollum, big kick to the body there at the end of that round. A little flurry. Any way that won the round, or who would you give that round to?
That's really close. That's a hard one to call.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that being said, I believe that JAYSON MOULTON, he needs to come on and maybe get a stoppage here. He's going to do anything he can to win this fight. It's going to be hard for him to edge out a decision. I think the only possible way, unless he gets a knockdown, is if he wins a 10-9, and if the judges scored the second round for him, it would be a draw.
Right. If he wins this third round,
yeah.
10-9.
Right.
And so that's true. And so we'll see. What do you want to see from both of these guys? What's their strategy here going into this third and final round?
Man, as I said, JAYSON MOULTON, I'd like to see him come out and look for a finish, at least a knockdown. He needs it, but that doesn't guarantee anything either, because the second round is up in the air. The only thing we do know is that first round was a 10-8 round for Marshall McCollum.
No touch of gloves, but they signal to each other.
But you know, if I'm in the corner of Marshall McCollum, I'm going to be saying, hey, we need to come out there and get a win. That's another. I don't know if that's going to count as a knockdown.
Not the gloves.
He's going to get the call. Yeah, he's going to get the call. Sometimes in Muay Thai, a slipping type of knockdown doesn't count if you pop back up. In this case, he's going to get the count.
I agree with that. I think that was Casey. Now, I don't know if he's got his faculties back, and we'll see if McCollum is on the attack here. Chin up for MOULTON, and now he responds.
Man, MOULTON's coming on hard here. Marshall McCollum firing back. An incredibly entertaining bout here in the first matchup of Valor Fights 34.
Wild flurry for both of these guys ever since they restarted after the knockdown.
MOULTON has to have a finish here. It's the only way.
Hands down from McCollum. And here comes MOULTON in the black trunks. In the final 30 seconds of this third and final round. Big kick to the body by MOULTON.
Oh, wow. Here we go. JAYSON MOULTON coming on here in the closing moments of this round. Marshall McCollum tying up here. Both men are exhausted.
Absolutely.
But great athletes. They continue to toll forward.
Hands down for McCollum. Can MOULTON close and influence the judges? And that's the end of this Muay Thai kickboxing bout. Amateur kickboxing bout between those two. That was a lot of fun, especially in that third round. They just let it go.
It was a lot of fun. You never know, but we saw two knockdowns here that went to the way of Marshall McCollum. I mean, those are automatic 10-8 rounds. I absolutely I have to go with Marshall McCollum in that fight. I mean, possibly Jason MOULTON could have taken round 2 by a slim margin.
But that second knockdown eliminates more than likely any shot unless they gave a round, maybe that first round.
Yeah.
Maybe they went the other way.
No, it's impossible because of the knockdown.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's impossible.
Yeah. But you don't think they would have thought that maybe MOULTON won the round even with that knockdown?
Yeah, with a knockdown, it's an automatic 10-8.
It's an automatic 10-8.
Automatic.
Okay.
Yeah, if one man is knocked down, you automatically, unless there are 2 knockdowns.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's true. So that happened in 2 of the 3 rounds. So certainly looks like they're in that second round. Even if it went MOULTON's way, we're not going to see a mismatch enough to.
No.
And even that wouldn't be enough. So it certainly looks like.
I'm thinking it's going to be 30-25. It could be a 30-26 or a 30-25.
Marshall McCollum from Nashville, Tennessee. Looks like he is on his way to winning his debut here in amateur Muay Thai kickboxing here at Valor Fights 34. Great way to get things started. We're at Tennessee Tech here tonight. And a very unique setting here. We're at the Hyder Burks Agricultural Pavilion. We've got stands over, I'd say, half of on one side, well, actually 2 sides of our cage. And then obviously this is where they do so much here in at Tennessee Tech with the agriculture school. All right, we've got our official decision judges scorecards. Back to Jennifer.
After 3 hard-fought rounds, we go to your judges' scorecard for decision. All 3 judges score this fight unanimously in your favor for winner out of the red corner, Marshall McCollum.